Well, we're finally back. We're talking about Korea. JTH, end of the Nightwing here. These rosters are looking absolutely disgusting on paper because 2019 is shaping it to be one of the most competitive leagues of Legend seasons of all time. Calling it right now. But
don't ever do that again. We are not one of those people. No, don't do that.
Okay, so let's just finish off Korea really, really quickly. Kingzone Dragon X.
What is wrong? What is actually going on? Stop
there
it.
was that Shakashi, there was a Kingzone Dragon X. No.
Listen to he's.
So yeah, Tusin is joining Kingzone Dragon X
Yes.
along with Deft and Pawn. That means Deft and Pawn, ever since their Korean exodus, have been on the same team.
Yep.
Why do they like?
Oh, no, it's
why
before
do they
then.
always like going on the same team?
It was
now?
before the Korean Exodus too.
Yeah, they were on Samsung Blue.
You could do it.
They were on Samsung Blue together. They were on Samsung Blue together. Why do they always play on the same team together?
It's honestly they obviously like each other. I can't say anything besides that.
I mean, they're both super.
I like his. I like
superstars.
I like Pawn's statement. He said, "I'm going on a team with a strong mid laner," and I'm pretty sure at this point he's talking about himself. So, I like that.
I feel bad for the dude because when KT Rolster's super team got created, he was considered a superstar mid laner too.
Mm-hmm.
And you felt like when they were playing, he was a weak link and he was not a superstar anymore.
And they replaced him with somebody who was, honestly.
Got some new blood and they won their split. So, okay, where to start with Pawn? Like,
Pawn is
issues with his back gonna come up where he just doesn't play half the year? Comes in some random playoff game. He gets replaced by a rookie. He just doesn't want to play anymore.
I wanna see Pawn. I wanna like him. He was honestly one of the best conservative mid laners in existence. His playstyle is so great. It was counteractive to Faker's aggressiveness.
Yeah, like solo killed him like 8 times during that one game.
Like I just like the way Pawn plays. It's just such a it's a type of playstyle we don't get to see anymore.
Yeah, like there were some games where people remember back when the SKT and KT at first faced each other when their new teams got formed, and Pawn played absolutely amazing on his Zed pick. It was absolutely amazing. And then
I liked his Morgana into LeBlanc. Like they actually counteracted the entire pick by picking a whole team. Maokai, Morgana.
When he used to just play Jace mid and.
Well, yeah, but I don't care about that.
He was the one that kind of revolutionized Gangplank mid at the time. He was the first one to pick it, actually.
I don't think he was.
He wasn't the first one, but he was like the person that really tried to make it like a thing. Was playing Gangplank mid.
I liked his conservative, like his Morgana into LeBlanc, which is kind of it just completely shuts her down. Biggest counter.
He's honestly. I feel like he needs to just. This is gonna be a redemption story for him too. It's a redemption story for a lot of players this year. Actually,
it's not a redemption story if he doesn't redeem himself. I need to see him perform well.
He's not even considered a superstar anymore.
He's not. He didn't play well the entire he
didn't really play good on KT Rolster. He really didn't
play extremely well on EDG after their MSI run. Either honestly.
He did say a lot of them got lazy, so
it doesn't. That's not an excuse.
So is that gonna affect him? Like if I was a coach and if this is like I'm lazy, well, okay, you need to get out of here. I'll just grab someone worse than you who wants to play. But that's just how I would do it.
I wanna see Pawn come back to form, but it's really unlikely that it happens, to be honest. But my biggest exciting part of this team is the bot lane, which is Tusin and Deft. With
that seems decent and seems like it could also fall apart and be so bad at the same time. Why does it feel that way?
They're actually, in my opinion, they're going to break a record this year because, from my knowledge, I believe they're probably the 3 single most face-checking players in existence. So they're probably gonna break the record this year for the single most face-checked bushes in Korea. I'm calling it.
The way this bot lane looks is like, man, this
bot lane looks incredible.
I think also really suck too.
Well, anything is volatile, but I think both of these two are substantially they're 2 great players.
This is a real 50-50 ball lane with me.
I really don't think it's that. I think you got 2 really good laners. I think you're pretty set on this, unless something drastic.
Tusin likes to roam. Deft doesn't like to roam.
Well, ADCs cannot roam. ADCs can't use macro. They just hit stuff.
How's that placed? I don't know how those playstyles are gonna match up, but
I don't think it's that big.
I think it's good for Kingzone X. No?
Are you trying to be like an anime girl right now? So what's going on?
I think it's good for Kingzone because they got the best things that were leftovers when everybody
They
else...
got the best things that you could get that was left over, honestly.
I know, yeah, Pawn, Deft, and just, yeah, those are the best things you could probably would have asked
with
for.
With Loken going to Top Gaming, it's like, what's left in Korea? That was it. You got
Oh yeah, Loken did go to Top Gaming, actually.
I'm excited
Loken
for
and
that.
someone else, I think, right?
What's
Loken and someone else?
Top Gaming looks absolutely great. They're going to get at least 3rd place in Korea. China next year.
Oh, we all forgot, guys. We will be doing power rankings for... I don't know how to do it for LPL. That's hard.
Well, no, it's not. I think the top 5 are pretty definitive.
But yeah, we'll be definitely doing power rankings for EU, NA, and Korea. I'm always gonna be right. So we're gonna do a bet to see who's more right, because I always win anyway.
I wish Korea would be willing to import people
like North American players.
They want to win. I'm talking about a winning.
JJ.
No, they did not import Core JJ. They did not. He's not an import. But I really want to see.
And he came back to the promised land.
Man, there's some just great players just in bad managed teams, and I think Korea could fix them.
All right, and now to swiftly kind of move on to the EU news. A really easy one is today, Vitality got a $20 million investment from a backer. I forgot the name of the dude, but
from their backer, honestly. Essentially, what's going to happen is they're gonna make they said they're gonna put it into gaming houses, correct?
They're really trying to tackle the Paris market. The French market, well, it's something like that. They're tackling a market of some
I'm really like that. The way that EU is handling themselves this year is absolutely incredible. Like I feel like
yeah, you're right. Team Vitality receives a $20 million investment from 10 Coakley, saying his name, will use the funding for LEC entry fee and the state-of-art team facility.
State-of-the-art team facility. So essentially what they're going to be doing...
Liquid facility, kind of?
Yeah, essentially they're going to build... Team Liquid is just dirty rich, man. It's disgusting. But
with that much money,
essentially,
I can pay off my student loans. He must be some sort of a doctor on
Stop reading comments, man. Come on. But what I'm thinking of is...
Dragonix!
I'm going to put you in a corner if you do that again, I swear. But essentially what we're going to be doing is they're going to build state-of-the-art game facilities, so they're going to be building gaming houses.
So, and also that's also good for a team, rather than living in one stable house doing all that. Now you have a facility where, the players can maybe, get apartments in certain areas.
It helps
and then go to the facility and play a lot better. So.
I think it helps build chemistry, honestly. You put them in good housing. They get to live together and play in state-of-the-art places.
Also, some players said they prefer to live alone, so you give you pay the player enough money. They live alone. They come over to the facility. They work. They go home. If they don't want to be in the gaming house, it's totally fine.
Yeah,
I think that's perfectly fine.
You
shouldn't have to force them to live with people, because
we don't know what's going to go on.
Because some people have said that gaming houses after a while living with people can be not their thing. So give them the option to live alone, and I think you have a much better Team Vitality roster, which is going to have a Korean jungler this year. Like Vitality, we didn't really get a chance to go over them.
I don't want to go over them until they make drastic changes.
They had a pretty good 2017 compared to their other 2018 compared to their other years where they look like absolute garbage.
You can't say they look like garbage in 2018.
No, sorry. In 2016 and 17 when they looked really bad. People were honestly surprised they even got into the league, but I think if they didn't do as well as they did this year, they would have not been in the franchise.
There's no way they would have made it into that. They had the backers. I don't think they had any domestic success.
That owns them. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I'm extremely excited. I like the way they played it.
How do you think this Vitality's gonna place for this EU spring?
I don't know anything.
LCE.
I need to see their entire roster.
Well, it's gonna be Cowboy Star, Jack Show, because they're extended. We don't know if the mid laner's gonna be
I think Attila staying. They don't
he is.
Yeah, Attila staying.
We don't know about the mid laner yet.
Yeah, that's I don't want to say anything until I see it.
It's the dude from Flash Wolves that is on the team, right?
It's
Moogly is from.
Well, let's not mix this up again, man.
He's a Korean from somewhere or a Taiwanese player. So pretty much guys, they don't have Kikis. They have a new jungler.
Yeah, he's
Kikis
from
joined Rogue.
Yeah, he's from Taiwan
or Korea. We don't.
No, he's from Taiwan.
We don't. You forgot too.
I forgot his name.
Gosh, but yeah, Vitality. I think that coming off of their Worlds run, some teams either ride their world momentum or they crash and burn with it. I think that this team's playstyle, I told them this team is not going to play any different at Worlds, and they didn't. But that's the good part about it, because since they didn't change themselves, they changed people's minds about Worlds. This team came in and they're not going to change anything about themselves. They're going to play the exact same way, and it really felt like they should have got out of the group 2 over RNG during that week.
I feel like they had the chance to make themselves get out. They did, and they lost. They should have. If they really thought they should have made it out, they should have won it.
They had the same situation as Team Liquid did with EG. Remember, if Gen G had beaten RNG, then they would have had a chance to beat RNG again.
Oh, don't look at my stuff, jerks.
Because remember, it was the same situation, but you had to bank on the 1-5 team, the 1-4 team beating RNG.
Yeah, I mean, they had a chance to do it with them. They didn't 2-0.
I mean, their as casters call it, their destiny was not in their own hands at that point. Once they lost to C9.
Yeah, they should have won. If they wanted to make it out, they should have won, or they should have done better the first. Like, I feel bad for them. I think they could have made it out.
I feel like the first week, if they had beaten RNG, them and C9 get out.
Yeah. What?
Because you really do factor in Vitality kind of deserved it more.
They
than
did.
RNG.
They did not. They didn't. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It goes by record. It goes by what they did. They didn't.
You said it goes by performance too.
It does in terms of what I think is a better team. I don't think they're better than RNG, but I also don't think
based on just that day and that week alone.
We can't. Well, no, we can't base it off that. We have to realize that all of these games matter. All of the first week matters, and if you don't take
people have to forget that you drop games in the first week. It's really dicey to try and get out the next. Well, now it's changed. It's on the same week, but you guys understand. Week one, part one matters a lot, just as much as the second one, because dropping a single game to a team you probably shouldn't be losing to can affect.
Yeah, honestly, the only way that week one doesn't matter is if you're from NA, because then you'll just go 0-10 the next week.
That's true.
God, I hated that, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I feel bad for Vitality. Their destiny was not in their own hands, and they had proven that people were really like I give props to them. They changed people's minds. They were the team that were like, we're not changing anything. We're just gonna play how we're gonna play, and it worked for them. And I think other teams, even Zazel talked about, we learned a lot from them, and I think that hey, kudos to them. They changed a lot of people's minds. Looking at the roster, they might be in the third place match again.
I would like to see them make it, but there's been some really good moves.
They changed, but then the whole region itself
changed. Whole region changed, and I think that the top spot is going to be... I don't even know who's going to be number one, honestly.
I think maybe G2 or Misfits looking like they might be the top
I don't know
now.
anything about how GT was going to perform, because I don't know what their team is.
Well, on paper, it looks like Misfits is going to be the best team.
I would like to imagine that, but I think Schalke's probably going to pull it out.
Which is next thing. He knows about that more than I do, actually. So, is this the same thing? So you guys love Memento, right? Memento is on Schalke now.
Schalke, yep. The team has kind of rounded itself out, honestly.
Yeah.
All around, I think with their team as of right now looks like Odoamne, Memento, I can't say his name. It's some German. It's a German. Abedigi, maybe.
Abedigi.
I would like to hear Caster say his name. But Abedigi...
And Upset. Is Abedigi going to be a coach?
No, he's the mid laner. He's a German mid laner. He's an up-and-coming talent, and everybody...
If I'm being honest right now, what German, Danish mid laner have we seen that has not been good? The ones that have actually been played...
I really don't look up nationalities of players.
I mean, but from what we've seen in like...
I don't know. I don't remember everybody from Germany.
I've never seen not a Danish or German mid laner be absolutely amazing at what they do.
Well, I would have
Except like Niski. He's like the only exception, but he's still kind of decent at what he does. So like,
how do you memorize these people's races? But what I want to talk about is
accidentally called power people Danish at the LCS.
Oh, he got angry. I remember.
He laughed at me.
Okay, he laughed at you. You did that, and then you called Kiin Sunday.
You don't look at me.
You're disgusting.
You're
disgustingly racist.
You're a good-looking man.
But honestly, the biggest thing I see is the bot lane, which you didn't mention the secondary player, which is Ignar.
Oh yeah, Ignar said he wanted to come back to EU first, and he got it.
He got it. So essentially, this roster is looking like Ignar, Upset, Abedigi. You don't even know how it's pronounced. Don't be confident.
What you're saying.
Probably.
Yellowret.
Whatever. Memento and Odoamne. I think that is an extremely solid team, and I think the first team that's going to mesh well together is going to be them. I think they have high potential. I don't think we've seen Upset's highest, like, his ceiling. I think he still has ways to go.
Right as we talk about that, more news broke in too.
Don't say it.
Gosh, wow.
Let's finish that later.
Yeah. So
let's do that later. Let's just finish. Let's talk about it.
We have another piece of Korean news, basically.
But okay, so essentially, what I'm saying is, I think that in terms of
so you said Ignar, Odoamne, Abedigi, and
Memento, and Upset. That is an extremely good team. I think Well,
that's one of those teams that's like, okay, they can be good, and then they could also be really, really bad.
I feel like that's able to be said about everybody, but
no,
I think
but this team is really.
no. Odoamne is a solid top laner. I think
he had
could
a
put
very
him,
off 2018.
He did, and I still think he was in the top 5 for top laners. To be honest,
Yeah,
I don't think he had a great.
Memento. I think Memento's been fantastic ever since I've seen him on Giants in 2017.
He's looked amazing. I think Memento is
I think this is the perfect team for him right now.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think Memento is probably the best jungler in EU. I'm gonna put that out there. I don't think that's really like a high thing to say. I don't think that's like surprising, but I think he's the best EU jungler. I think the best. I want to see Abedigi. I want to see him in action. I want to see what he's capable of because I have not seen anything about him. I need to look some more up on him because I have no clue. But bot lane looks extremely great. I think that is going to be the second best in the top 3 100% for the best bot lanes. I would like to see them in action, but the fact is you have Upset, who I think he has not peaked yet, and I think next year is going to be his best year.
People just call him like Smeb 2.0.
And you have Ignar,
not Smeb, Smeb 2.0.
You have Ignar, who, like...
Man, even on BDD looked really amazing.
BBQ?
BBQ. Like,
he didn't look amazing. I don't want to say that. He struggled. Like, I'm trying to put... I feel bad. I think it was mostly because you have an aggressive support who's paired around a bunch of lousy players.
Oh, if you guys... Did we mention that Visit Chachi's on Splice? I don't think we did.
We did not mention that.
Did we mention? I think we did. But let's go over again. Visit Chachi is now on Splice. He left Schalke. He's not going to be back up for that team. So...
What does Splice look like right now? There's Vijachachi,
I don't even know, honestly.
They
brought some people in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
I can't remember any of those people's name, but going over that, that looks like a team. Oh my gosh, Ignar and Upset. How? Like, it seems like the goal this time is to pair an EU AD carry with a LCK support. That seems to be the trend we're looking at here.
Are you about to see Snowflower come over, huh? I'd be excited for that.
Spoilers. No. Let's see what we got. We're looking at LCE being really competitive now.
I think it's going to be competitive, and you're going to see a few of the hype teams not going to mesh well.
It's going to be very volatile.
What is going to happen?
You got to factor in for EU, when people build these super teams, they're extremely volatile and they can just fall flat on their face. Remember that Team Vitality roster? Not 2018, the 2017 with Nuke Duck, Joko, Vander, Steelback, and their top laner was Cabochard. That was supposed to be a really good team, and they just were completely garbage.
Well, I think the problem with that one is they didn't have a direction to go to. They had a bunch of...
Their coach was... Oh my god, his drafts were laughable.
Yeah, I know. But what I think is the...
First pick Camille, and when he left, when Kha'Zix was OP broken.
Well, Camille was broken at that point. You had to first pick Camille.
I mean...
Camille was just busted at that point. That was when Camille first got released, and his stats were overtuned.
This dude straight up left the game for 20 minutes, came in, got 2 kills, and carried the game for them. What a busted champion.
What I think the biggest thing that I'm thinking about is I don't know how well all these teams they have a bunch of people who we've never seen them play together.
Here's my thing with watching EU and LCS I've been watching EU LCS since I went back and watched the portions that I didn't watch, but from watching it from 2015 onwards, at a certain point when you watch
you started watching in 2014. I remember you.
But like you get this point. It's not like the NALCS. It's like, at a certain point, there is a clear and cut best team. And then there's also clear cut 2 and 3rd team. Like in the NALCS is different. It's like, you have the good team, but they can be upset at any point, and then there's like a bunch of teams fighting to get second. The EULCS is different. It's like, there's a clear cut, it's always happened. There's always a clear cut best team. Whose team is that going to be this year?
What I'm going to say
is... It was Fnatic last year.
It was okay. Well, what I'm going to say
this year?
What I'm going to say is I don't like to put past precedents into any point in the situation.
This has been years.
It doesn't matter how many years because the past does not affect the future. So we don't know what's going to happen. Well, I'm just saying.
That kind of correlates to the situation, though.
It really doesn't. I think that EU could happen. I think that's happened more than anything, but I don't want to say that because EU's usually everybody's towards the center.
I'm saying that can happen, but there's always been that one team that's always clear cut better.
I don't want to. I'm gonna put it out. I
don't think that team is gonna be Fnatic this year.
I'm just saying I don't know if that's gonna happen. I want to imagine. In my mind, I think
I will imagine a different split.
What I'm saying is I think that there is potential for a lot of teams to either be world class or be terrible. We don't know any of these teams. They all imported some Korean supports, really. Bunch of Korean supports, and we don't know how well.
Well, the other teams like Rogue and Astralis. No, not Rogue.
Yeah, they're not Astralis. There's Origin.
Yeah, Rogue and Origin. I feel like a lot of the. I feel like the organizations, the main ones that they kept, Fnatic, G2, I think those teams, based off what they've shown in the past all the time, are going to be the top teams.
I'm worried about Fnatic. I feel like they've lost their strongest piece.
I said top team, I didn't mean first place. So
I don't even, like, I think they had some potential.
I think Soaz is going to be fantastic on Misfits.
Well,
that's my little...
Regardless of what you... Fnatic is going to struggle next year, because I feel like...
a lot of people saying that.
Well, it needs to really... They lost their strongest piece, and I think Whipple's a great player. I think Reckless is going to be great in the bot lane. Hillsing proved himself to be a... He's paired up really well.
The only unicorns of Lovember
Reckless,
go that far.
Reckless didn't do amazing at Worlds. I don't think he did terrible, though. I think he's a great player.
He wasn't, outstanding.
But the year before that, he carried them completely, and he was the reason they even made it out of groups. So
man, what a
day
that was watching as an NA fan.
You know what? I will either put the carry on Reckless or Cody's. I don't know which one, but
hey.
2017, that was a great year.
That was a great year while watching that day live.
INT was a mess, but God. I think all around you have a good bot lane. You have a pretty solid.
I think they said they're gonna bring in a new mid laner, a new guy.
Of course. I think that's something they really have to do. EU has there's what is that dude's name?
Go to where they breed Danish people and find a mid laner there.
What do you mean where they breed Danish people?
Yeah. Come on. He found Jensen.
Where do you think?
Go find a place where they breed Danish people and pick one.
They probably breed Danish people where Danish people live.
Where do they, Denmark, right? Wherever they live at.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well,
I do think Fnatic with their newer roster will start, because people have to factor in. Whipple had a good year. But, he had a veteran around. He had a lot of veteran players, and the meta suited him. Let's see him in a meta where it doesn't suit him and he has to play, tank duty.
What I'm saying is, Haunter looked great the year before. Haunter did this exact same thing.
And people said the exact same thing about him.
I want to see... Haunter didn't look bad, though. I think Whipple looked good enough to where I think he could still be world-class, but I want to see more out of him. He hasn't had enough time on his own. He's played a split by himself once... Essentially, once
he played bot lane half the split when Reckless quit.
I want to see him in top lane in a consistent amount of time, and I want
to see him in metas that don't favor him, because there's a lot of.
He's good in both metas. I've seen he played tanks well.
Oh yeah, he did play tank at Worlds.
No, he's completely fine.
Let's multiple metas. One meta, one season doesn't really define a person's career.
I think he's fine. I think Whipple is going to be fine. I think that bot lane is going to be strong. I think Reckless is probably still one of the top tier ADCs in EU.
He's probably the EU. I also say the EU superstar.
Well, maybe, but I think Hillsing fit. Hillsing surprisingly fit well. I want to see.
I kind of figured he would.
I want to see who they bring into the mid. There's apparently I can't remember the dude's name, but it's like something Nightmare or something.
Magic's. No, it's something M, I think.
No, it doesn't.
Night Flare, right?
No, it's something I can't remember his exact. But there's an EU mid laner that's supposedly coming to Fnatic. That's apparently a really great He was great in the. He's apparently a superstar in in solo queue, and I feel like they could develop him well. A really great foundation for him would be Fnatic, because they have a...
They said Fnatic already have their mid laner.
Well,
They just haven't revealed the name personally yet.
Well, we'll see. We can't say anything on that, but it's all dependent on who they get in mid lane and how well he performs. Because they definitely replaced probably their strongest link. They're gonna have to. So, but the biggest thing I have is Schalke is gonna look. In my opinion, they're probably going to be top 2, if not number 1 next split. Because they put... first off, EU is obviously in the top 3 for just pure talent-wise. There's no other region that compares to the top 3. In talent, they have a bunch of, undiscovered and undeveloped talents that they could grab from the EU, and I really think that their best bet...
it even happened this year with Jizuke and
Yeah, they did. They have essentially developed all these talents, and I think EU, they made the best bet. They essentially all of these strong roles, they have a strong mid laner. I mean, a strong top laner. Mm-hmm. That's somebody who's proven himself. A extremely strong jungler. That's 100% a world class jungler.
For who?
For Schalke. Memento. Completely world class.
You sure to say that? You guys have been world.
I don't care if he's been a worlds, man. That dude he's played out of his mind, and it doesn't matter if he's played at world class. I mean, in a world situation, he's a world class player.
I think he would choke on the pressure at worlds.
I have no idea, but from what I've seen, he would not.
No, I mean his style would really work in Best of Worlds perfectly.
Well, I'm just saying, I think he is. I think their ADC just has so much potential, and I'm excited for next year for him.
Upset, yeah.
Upset he's improved each and every split he's played in. I think he has a lot of potential.
Ignar, we've seen him good. We've seen him average. I think we have a consistent player.
I don't think he's been terrible ever. I think he looked extremely good before.
Before
he came to Korea, he was one of the most mechanically gifted supports in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
When he came to EU,
about him too.
Yeah, obviously he was in the runnings for the best supports for most of the time he's there. But when he came to EU, he was extremely great. Like he was great. And
he got Misfits to their.
He looked great, and he has single-handedly carried them to that. Well, not single-handedly. I don't want to take away from the other members, but
he made it very.
He essentially
took the tide.
Oh, he did. He got Hansama fed. He roamed, got kills on Faker, which is that is an achievement in and of itself.
God.
But
and that's from what I've seen, it's just always be the same thing. But I do think this year, with a lot of changes going around, I do not think that Fnatic will be at the very top. They'll be in contention. I think either G2 will reclaim their throne as the kings of Europe, or maybe Fnatic reclaim their kings. But who do you think is going to be EU's king? Do you think Fnatic will turn around with a new player?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know enough about G2's perk situation. At AJC, I don't know.
Yeah. But do you think Fnatic... Okay, so let's say LC's different. Do you think EU, LCS, with all these changes this year, will have a new king?
I think in my mind, the biggest contenders right now are going to be Misfits. If they gel together, it's over. There's that just whole lineup is...
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. But I think if anybody can contend with on
so you're like
essentially
Misfits for
no.
King.
Essentially, if anybody contend with an on point Misfits, it's gonna have to be Schalke. Schalke is literally the only, in my mind, the only team that can contend with them. Hansama is gonna look great with a pretty great with a support like that next to him. He's gonna look great.
I think because EU likes such kings. I think you got G2 for your next king, or I think you have.
I don't know. We don't know enough about G2.
That's the problem. We say this every single time about them, and they always do it.
I don't care. They have not.
Because at one point, were you like, okay, Fnatic or G2 are not going to be in the top four?
I'm not going to put anything in the past to affect my decision now.
I know, but
I will not. They have not.
From what I've seen, I'm just going to. Okay.
I'm not going to put them up there.
Would you put them as top 6?
I think just based off of the laners they have, they're going to get top 6. They have caps. They have.
What's the highest ceiling possible you think is Fnatic?
I think they could get first. I think they could get first, but I don't know anything about perks at ADC. I don't know how well Caps is going to function under new mid.
Under all the pressure. People forget Caps is the player to watch on G2 this year because he is going to be.
I think the player to watch is
perks and Caps will be the best.
I think obviously Caps isn't confirmed, but it's essentially the owner himself leaked it at this point.
And then Wadid said on Twitter, let's not he doesn't like people making jokes about it anymore and wants people to stop doing it.
Do what?
It's basically confirmed that it's gonna happen. If you read Wadid's last tweet, then he basically said it's true. But
Wadid is such a nice dude. I feel bad for him.
God,
but niceness can't get you much.
And niceness doesn't work in the G2 army.
It really doesn't.
That's I think Europe is gonna have it. He pretty much is saying they're gonna have a new king.
I'm essentially saying we have to base it off of what we see.
I think G2 or Fnatic is going to win their next split. I think Misfits will not.
I want to base it. What are you basing that off of? Basing it off of past prestige?
Now you have so if they're going to get Caps and you basically combine what was the EU faker of
Let's just
put 2018. You have the best mid laner who before Caps is going to a different role, meaning he's still going to give his game knowledge there too.
Well,
then you also have one of the better junglers in Gankos there. Wonder, proven through Worlds and throughout the whole year, he's an extremely great top laner. Wonder also got MVP for Rift Rivals too. I mean, he was already starting to be good.
The two I do not believe. I'm going to put the two.
I don't believe in Mickey X.
I don't believe in Mixie X, but I don't think Mickey X is
horrible.
He's not horrible, but he's not great. I think the two. I can't say anything about them until I see them in action because they just confuses me. Just like Perks in ADC, I've never seen it. He looks great on solo queue, but that doesn't translate to stage.
And also, people to factor in when he did play ADC was in a funnel meta where they have to give you resources or you lose
the thing about it, the difference in bot lane and mid lane is essentially you're in an extended lane when you're the ADC in bot lane, and lane freezes can happen so much easier. You can shove it back into wave essentially close to turret if you're on bot lane.
It's not even just past precedences. I'm also basing it off, okay, regular season is one thing, but playoffs can be so dicey. Like, how many times have you factored in, you made a prediction and it went straight out the window because a team finally came into what they're supposed to be in that exact playoff moment? Like, what if Fnatic started like they have a record of like 9-9, and then in playoffs they go to the finals.
I think
playoffs is just completely different than regular season.
If you want my opinion on where all of these teams are going to place, I'll do that in the power rankings.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna say they get their old king still. I think either G2 or Fnatic will win the split. Misfits I think will maybe be in the finals.
I think, in my opinion, the top team is going to be Schalke, then Misfits.
He's on the Schalke hype train.
I am, but I think Misfits is kind of a question mark for me because of Gorilla's playstyle.
G2 Army, I'm wearing black out. He's part of the G. He's secretly rooting for G2 right now. Too.
Okay, well, is that all we're gonna talk about?
Oh,
you wanna bring up that news now?
Newly leaked news right now. Actually, as we just did this video. Okay, KT Rolster officially gets BDD and takes Snowflower away from Supermassive. And then they re-sign Smeb and Score. So you have BDD, mid, Smeb top, Score jungle, and Snowflower in the support position.
So if you think about it,
what if they get Prey? What if KT Rolster get Prey though? That'd be pretty cool.
Go back. Okay. Well, essentially that is.
Prey doesn't have a team, and he was rumored to go to KT Rolster already. So
I want to say. Since these are confirmed, it's gonna be top lane. It's gonna be Smeb. Jungle
Score,
is
BDD.
Score. BDD was the best mid laner in last split. Season.
He's been playing fantastic.
Yeah.
Man.
So essentially, you have four great. Snowflower's a great player. This is gonna be a contender, 100%.
Is it as good as their last year's roster?
If you want my complete honest opinion,
this might work better than their last year's
I think
roster.
it's gonna be better because you have a better mid laner.
Well, we've seen super teams not work out because there's a lot of carries really do throw off.
We gotta base it off of what we've seen because we can't base it off of it could not work.
Okay, so KT Rolster have tried two things: super team and players that are just renownedly good.
That's what a super team are.
Well, no, because Hachani era.
Hachani looks great for a little bit, man. I hate that.
Like, KT really do try to bring up new people, too.
For, the beginning of when Tark was released, he was the best Tark in the world, and I loved it, man.
I think that people have to factor in, because some people did ask why did the KT Rolster team, that was a super team, not really work as they expected. My personal opinion on that was, you have a super team, so you have a bunch of people that want to carry the game. Then you have to factor in, okay, do these people even like each other outside the game? If they didn't like each other outside the game, then it's not going to translate well to on stage play. You also factor in when KT Rolster were winning, none of them got out of their chair and were ecstatic to play with this guy. You just noticed that. But I think that with this new roster, if they gel together, like each other, KT Rolster are going to have a much better atmosphere. You don't have to have super players to win in every position. I think that if the players like each other outside of every position, it's just a lot better for you.
My opinion on why it didn't work, let's go by season 7. Essentially what they said was, we are not listening, we have not confirmed on who's going to be the shot caller. Okay, so they went through this entire split where we have a bunch of shot calling people who've shot called for the team since before. They had Smeb, who's a shot caller, they had Score, who's a shot caller, and they had Motto, who's a shot caller.
Colin did little types of shot calling.
I just think those are main shot callers on their team. So essentially you have these people who are fighting for the shot calling position on the team, and they're not making any decisions because they won't decide on what's going to happen.
Yeah, you have a bunch of people feeding information to each other and like, hey, we should go to Baron? No, we should TP and fight. No,
so
Baron. Don't TP and fight.
This is the 2017 season. I think their biggest downfall was a lack of shot calling.
This is also the 2017 season where you factor in, you have to make really quick decisions because you're playing Ashe, Varus, Jhin in the bot lane.
Well,
you play engage things, so you have to, if you don't engage quick enough, someone else is going to engage on you, and then you're going to lose.
What I'm saying is, I think the biggest problem was you got 3 shot callers fighting for control of the team, and then you have what's it called? Let's think of the third player and then you have Pawn, who's struggling. He's struggling a little bit.
Pawn's not even keeping up.
Well, he's not. He wasn't that bad. I think people overestimate how bad he was. But let's think about 2018. They seem to pull it together. In the spring split, they don't look as strong, but you can see they have a definitive reason as to why they make decisions. And the summer split.
But you said that at one point they did settle on Mata because for 8 weeks.
It was the summer split.
They were 8 weeks in spring 2017 before they faced SKT. They were the best. They were literally almost the best team.
Yeah, what I'm saying, in Summer Split, they fixed all their problems. They settled on UCal, and they had it.
Galaxy.
What do you mean? You're talking about? We're talking in Summer Split.
Summer 2017, right?
We're in 2018 now. I'm confused.
Yeah,
I gave up on 2017 because that was just a mess. I don't like talking about what Samsung did to them.
I literally chalk it up to them just literally not liking each other's PSP.
I don't want to guess that because we don't have any insight on that. But what I think the biggest reason is they were not on form at Worlds. Like Smeb is, I think the Shy at that point was the best, one of the best top laners in the world, if not the best. I think Kiin would have been a good struggle for him. And then the Smeb was not on form. That was not the Smeb we usually see. I think
maybe it was. Maybe Shy's just better.
I've seen them both play. I think this was not Smeb's best year.
Sometimes players can look really good, but until they face someone better.
What happened? This is Smeb's worst year was last year. This season 8 was Smeb's extreme. That was by far his worst year, and it's not. I can't. Smeb looked terrible before. I forgot about all his years past, but before he joined Rocks Tigers doesn't count. We're ignoring that.
Yeah, but I personally think
we have to base it off his entire year. He did not look great in this entire year.
I think that he still was one of the better top laners that Korea had to offer, but I do think that if you play against someone who's just as good as you or better, it's going to show. Because it was showing during their match that Shy was just a tiny ever so a little bit better than he was.
I don't think it was tiny at that. In that series?
Ulting at certain points in time, CSing mechanics.
Nah.
Sometimes players can just be better than other players.
Well, you can say that.
It's really hard to notice that in League, but it's
extremely easy to know. Like, what I'm saying is, the biggest reason as to why he started sucking, I want to say sucking because that's sucking on Smeb's terms.
Slumping.
I'm going to say...
I'll put it in PG terms.
But in what terms?
Slumping.
In what terms?
PG 13.
What is sucking a bad word now? Oh no. Don't you dare do it. Gosh. But essentially what happened, we see a Smeb that just, he struggled this year. He struggled throughout the entire year. He looked this is like when Faker looks off form, he's still in the top 5, but
that's
he's not
crazy.
Yeah. That's what happened with Smeb this year. Smeb looked pretty weak this year. He looked pretty weak all around. I feel like the biggest reason as to why we didn't see a KT Worlds is because UCal didn't have the experience to pretty much go against Rookie.
Maybe if you put Pawn in that position, maybe Pawn gets you past quarterfinals.
Rookie just outclasses
UCal.
Pawn, and then Rookie outclasses UCal too, but to a lesser extent. But Rookie has the experience on him too. So
then you factor in as KT Rolster, you can't put in Rush against Ning.
They didn't bring Rush.
They didn't?
No, they brought a secondary top laner. They didn't bring Pawn.
They got a lot of their playoff wins by doing subbing junglers, though.
Well, they didn't bring him. What I'm saying is, in the bot lane, you have somebody in Deft, in my opinion, beats Jackie Love on specific carry, but Jackie Love is a volatile. You don't know about Jackie Love.
Literally called China's wild turtle.
He's way better than Wild. That is an insult to Jackie. Jackie Love is...
He kind of is, though.
No, he's not. He is talented.
That dude will flash under fountains.
He does that against Uzi for no reason whatsoever. He does well against everybody else in China.
I kid you not. This dude flashed in front of an Ashe with ult up as Kaisa.
I just think Jackie Love has He has a lot of... He's
better than pretty much half of his competition, which is really interesting considering he's a very young dude.
It's not even half.
So I kind of want to see him next year do the same thing.
I want to see him when he's less nervous, because I'm going to chalk up his random spurts of weirdness to like nervousness, but
I'd say just flat out underperformance.
Well, yeah, but I think he was nervous, and that's why he underperformed. I think so. Essentially, you have a bot lane who I think is KT favorite. The jungler is KT favored. That's what kind of threw me off, because Score didn't pop off at Worlds. It's kind of confusing.
Ning did not look good in the group stage.
He didn't look. He was.
Ning and Bao Long were the weakest links of the team, and it's very visibly shown.
Is essentially always going to be the weakest link because he's the weakest player on that team. But the problem
with Bao Long is that people said he couldn't play playmaking support every single game.
I think Bao Long looked great in the finals, but he struggled in the quarterfinals. But the reason the reason why I think this was a bad matchup for for KT, is essentially the Shy on what he was playing during the end of summer. He started playing better at the end, and at Worlds you saw somebody who essentially he's better than Smeb right now. Smeb is not playing well. Smeb's not on form. I think
he's not playing well, but I do think Shy is just better.
He's not.
I think we've seen a new person that's just better than Smeb.
I saw Shy play all year, and I saw Smeb play. If you see Smeb on form, I think it's easily just goes 50-50. I think Smeb was obviously better this entire year. The entire year Smeb was better. I mean, the Shy was better.
But overall, we're getting...
Yeah, the Shy was better. We are getting off track, but I want to explain why I think... Wait, why? How did we get over here?
How did we get to this?
Wait, whatever. Well, essentially, I think KT was a great mix-up. I think this was a bad matchup for them because they lose in both of their solo lanes, which is their strongest points. Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest reason as to why I'm saying this is I think that this new KT lineup...
I think it doesn't mesh well better.
I think it might. I think the mid lane is stronger, but UCal is still
I think if you just go with Smeb and score, saying what you need to... What they should probably be the piloters of the early
essentially they replaced their shot caller and they're
probably just going to put it back to score again.
Essentially, no, they're going to rely on Smeb to shot call.
I would still put it on score.
Yeah, but Smeb is the one that is probably.
If you count, I want to put it on score. You win your playoff games.
Nah,
you can have Smeb do it in the regular season. Doesn't matter.
There's no reason to swap.
Have score do it in the playoff games.
Essentially, what's happened? I don't think score's even shot called since this team is formed.
I think that
Smeb is not.
It's better for
you can say
to do
whatever
it
you want.
in a best of series in the playoffs. I think it's better for score to do it because if he has a different jungler.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but what they've settled on is what I think they need to do at this point. They have settled on in the first season. This team formed together. Smeb was a shot caller, correct?
But what if that doesn't work in certain games where he's behind and he doesn't feel like he can say anything because he's behind?
You can shot call from behind. Even if you're behind, shot calling does not change. So what I'm saying is the shot caller is most likely going to be Smeb. Mm-hmm. So now they've settled on. They got rid of Mata because I assume that was the counter.
Mata can be Mata's not really from what I've seen the nicest dude you probably want to play with. He's not polarizing, but he's not like, hey, if you mess up, he's gonna be all nice about it.
What I'm saying is, I think his
personality does not work with what KT Rolster was probably trying to bring.
What I'm saying is, on paper, this KT lineup so far is better, but what the amount of ADCs they have left, I don't think is gonna.
I think they should just go get Prey.
I think if they got Prey, they wouldn't be as good as last year, but I think it could...
This is the best they could have offered.
This is the best... Loken's gone. Loken's no longer an option, so you need to go for Prey.
I would say go for Prey. This is the best option. This is the leftovers.
Prey,
these are some great leftovers. Smeb, score, BDD.
I feel like...
That's too much you're asking for at that point.
I feel like they need to get a veteran jungler, ADC, and they get a rookie. Because you're not going to... This is a team... You built a team for a title contention. This is a team built for title contention.
This is 3 years worth of failing?
Well, no, this is a different team now, but this is a team built for title contention with BDD, Smeb, and all them.
If you put Prey in there, you're definitely trying to win worlds.
You can't put a rookie in there because if he doesn't perform, you essentially wipe the floor with...
Probably people don't understand. If you put a rookie in, sure, it's good to give new players some fun. How in the world is he going to stack up against other bot lanes?
He could perform, but you don't want... This is not the time where you want to put high risks.
Taking 50-50s when you're trying to win worlds is not...
It's not even 50-50. It's like... You don't know if he's going to perform, so you want to put a veteran on there in a situation.
No point in taking that risk in general.
Yeah, you want to put somebody on the stage who has the experience, so you can essentially say, "I'm convinced that we can take it."
You can put a rookie in when you're first place, and games don't matter at that point. Put him in then.
Yeah, you want to give him some experience, but I think him essentially all the experience this rookie is going to get is when they have in-houses and stuff. Yeah. This is when you scrimmage your in-house people. That's why you get two backup.
I would say just get Prey, Sunflower, BDD, score Smeb. You got a pretty decent top 3 team right there.
Yep, top 3 team, yeah. 100%.
Maybe. Do they win the split? Oh, man. Can they retake their title? Can they do back-to-back with this team?
I think they could.
They could.
We all have to base it off of who...
Then you'll have to factor in KT not choking in situations.
Well,
KT roller coaster, man, is crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm sorry if it was a bit longer than the other one.
It wasn't just longer; it was off track, and I apologize.
But yeah, hey, I predicted IG to beat them because I know about the KT roller coaster. He doesn't. No.
I predicted IG to win. Hello. I was watching China all year.
You put 100 thieves. You put 100 thieves. The second place got to go for.
Don't bring that up when I bring up IG.
I literally stated the reason why they would not, and you're like, no, you don't give reasons.
No, I said it was a strong top. You know what? Whatever. We're going to talk about this later. You're just completely lying. Let's get
Inside for Nerds, JTH, and...
You are not a gangster. Stop throwing up those gang signs.